Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Hello, everyone. It's the last day of September, last day of Q3. We're getting into Q4. That's crazy. Thank you all for joining us tonight, Tuesday, September 30th. I'm Ingrid Waform. I am based in Houston, Texas.
And I'm Nana, and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay,
And
okay. And today we have a fun one. Tomorrow is Nigerian Independence. We're wearing green, we're representing. So let us know where you all are joining from. Where are you watching us from? But today we're gonna talk about something a little, I wouldn't say controversial, but a little fun in honor of Nigerian Independence Day. We're gonna talk about Nigerian men, okay? We're gonna talk about Nigerian men. So as you guys are coming in, make sure you like the video, share, subscribe, and let's get into it. I just say you are live. Okay, it's just been 1 minute live. All right, we'll let people come in. I've shared the
your green
video.
is too dark. That's not Nigeria's green. This is
Okay. I don't have that type of green top. I mean, I have a tube top. I can't wear a tube top here, so it's not appropriate. So I just had to wear any green that I had. Ah. Hello, hello. How are you? So I really can't believe today is the last day of September. I feel like this year is going by so quick. Like it's kind of scary. Tomorrow's October, October
I love
1st.
it. I feel like if we move,
What? Even summer. I mean, I'm in Houston, so we still have summer, right? It's still the weather is still good, but what?
it's not summer. Summer's over.
It's technically fall, but we have summer weather. Is what I'm saying because it's still like in the 80s. It's cooling down, so I'm gonna start taking walks in the morning. Nighttime's get into the 60s because
The
with the
morning, what
Houston.
time in the morning you gonna start taking walks?
That's the problem. No, I gotta wake up. If I wake up in the 7, I could take a walk before work. 30 minutes for the issue is waking up. Or if I can go to bed on time. If I sleep well, I wake up. I can wake up early. What's been stopping me more so not just sleep is the even if it's too hot.
Oh,
You're a hater. It's too hot. Let me know where y'all are calling in from. Hi everyone, we're here. I know we're not as every week, but y'all gotta come to support us so we feel
yeah,
ginger
give
to
them
be
that
here.
energy. Don't look sleepy. Give them that energy. They'll be back.
Hello, ladies. How are you? Hi, Judy Hammond. Are you new? I haven't seen you comment before in our live. Are you new, or am I just or have I just missed you? Hi, where are you calling from? Where are you watching from, Judy? Gino, Gino can't miss this one. Gino, we need you for this one. St.
You know the
Louis,
deal.
STL, stand up. All right, Gino in the building. Jersey, stand up, where we don't pump gas and we don't pay tax on clothes, and we have nice beaches. Three of the things I miss about New Jersey. I'm at work at 7 a.m. Okay. All right. Judy, where in Texas are you in? What city? Hi, little Ernest from Miami Beach. I thought you lived in Atlanta. Little Ernest don't live in Atlanta?
I feel like he's in different places.
Oh, it's your first time. Are you subscribed? Make sure you subscribe. How did you find our live? Are you interested about Nigerian men? Is that what brought you here? If you are, let's stay tuned. Let's get into it. All right. So in honor of Nigerian Independence Day tomorrow, we are talking about a highly sought out commodity, which seems to be Nigerian men. All right. So we've had videos talking about this, when Portia Williams had her issue with Simon, and we talk about, some of the, I guess, differences being that we're Nigerian American, we're women, we're born and raised here, but our family's Nigerian. And we see it, playing out in our day to day lives in the dating landscape. There's a lot of conversation around wanting to be with a Nigerian man, wanting to date a Nigerian man. I'm in Houston, right? So I'm in a city where there's a lot of Nigerian men. Okay. And I think I even bring up some experience I had. We were at a popular restaurant, me and my girlfriend, Joey's, and some guy, I was just telling them about the guy earlier. He came and paid for our bill. And my friend asked, did he tip you properly? She was like, yeah. These Nigerian men, they be having money. They be having money. She was a server it was at Joey's, that's one of my spots. So she was a server there. And then my friend was like, oh yeah, we know we Nigerian. And she's like, oh really? Oh really? And I was like, yeah, they be having money, girl. You better go with them. You better go get that. So there's this idea right? And there's this reputation that Nigerian men have money, Nigerian men spend, Nigerian men are very generous. And Nena will has her own feelings, but I think that's from being in a place like Charlotte. She's a little biased. But Nigerian men have this reputation of being providers, spending, taking care of women, being marriage minded. Trust me, they have their excesses. One day, I think it's coming closer and closer when the Holy Spirit ministers to me to reveal some things. This subscriber count is going to quadruple like overnight. It's just certain things you have to wait for when the Spirit tells you. You can't be too hasty and make a mistake. You have to wait. Timing in life is everything. We're talking about this. Timing is everything. But a lot of Nigerian men have this reputation. I remember talking to one of my guy friends in London, and he was saying how like some men get excited about that, but he feels that that's not necessarily a good thing because it puts a lot of pressure on Nigerian men. So like when he goes out or he just meets women, London, there's a lot of like foreign women, Caribbean women. They're like, oh, you're Nigerian, you're gonna spend on me, you're gonna pay my rent, all that. Like they have these like very high expectations because maybe their friend dated a Nigerian guy and he was spending, or maybe they dated one before, so now they feel like, oh, almost like Nigerian men are like a, what's the words, like a walking money bag, right? So there's a popular Instagram creator, I believe it's Eboniyama. I don't think I'm saying his name properly. We're going to show the video soon. We're just waiting for people to join in. But he made a clip that had gone viral a couple of weeks ago, and I commented on it, and I'm still getting likes on my comment. I got like over 100 something likes on my comment, and I'm going to read my response to his video. But we're going to play this video, and in this video, he talks about why Nigerian men are not dating Nigerian women, basically, along the lines of like, non-Nigerian women appreciate non-Nigerian women appreciate Nigerian men more. That was the argument he was making. So, Nana, can you play it so we can let's get into it? Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
He's in Houston. All right.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, calm down, slow down. We are losing ourselves in this generation. So why is it that Nigerian men in America don't marry Nigerian women in America? The truth is that an average Nigerian man in America wants a Nigerian woman because there is nothing better than a body that understands your language, your culture, your food, and everything about you. But Nigerian women in America are too tough, hard to please, very demanding. The moment you walk to a Nigerian woman in America, the first thing she will ask you is, are you a citizen? What do you do for a living? What kind of car you drive? Where do you live? Like, why are you asking if he's a citizen when you yourself were a citizen? Will you die if you marry your kind to legalize your kind? You will not die, yet you will not do it. You get to the point. Now, America is supposed to unite all of us all, but America is dividing us. Nigerian women in America have more opportunity academically than Nigerian men, yet hardly to see a Nigerian woman helping a Nigerian man. You get to the point now, we are losing our men on a daily basis. 70% of Nigerian men from the age of 30 and above in America are all married. But 80% of Nigerian women from the age of 40 in America are all single, divorced, or never been married. You get to the point now, calm down, slow down. We are losing ourselves in this generation. So why is it that Nigeria?
All right, y'all. Okay, Judy says she's in Houston. Hey, okay, you're in my city. All right, so I'll read my comment. I can't even. Let me zoom in so I can read my comment. So basically, what I had responded, and you see, I got 121 likes, 42 responses. I said that another thing we have to remember is cultural upbringing. Nigerian women are raised to have high standards, and our men meet them. In a lot of Black cultures, men are not as progressive as Nigerian men, so they appreciate Nigerian men more. But for a Nigerian woman, many things are basic / expected. So essentially, a Nigerian man can do less and be appreciated more with other women. I think the going to the comment is more about I don't like the idea necessarily that like Nigerian women are so ungrateful and they're so extra. And I'm not saying that those type of women don't exist, because they definitely do. But I think that saying that other women like may demand less, it's not because they're inherently more understanding. I think it's because there's a cultural difference, and also maybe the experience with their fellow men. For example, there's another clip, and I don't know if we'll have time to show that one, but they show a video of like girls in Zimbabwe, like, oh, I want a Nigerian man. Like a lot of women in other countries, particularly in Africa, they're not used to dealing with men who really do some things that Nigerian men do. So of course it's natural, like they're going to appreciate them more because that's not what they're used to. But if you grew up in that environment where a man is supposed to, marry a woman, he's supposed to provide for the most part, he's supposed to, do certain things, you're not going to be as wild by it because that's your standard. It doesn't mean that you're not grateful. It doesn't mean that you're not understanding. It just means that like your standard is different. Like that's what you grew up seeing. So it's not a big deal for you. So the comments, of course, went crazy. All the people commenting, yes, and Nigerian women are too demanding, they're too choosy, they're too this and that.
Okay. So I had a conversation with a guy about this a couple weeks ago, and okay, first off the video, I see some things. I'm reasonable. I'm accountable. I know that women are not perfect, men are not perfect, but the stats in here are totally off. You can't tell me.
We grab those stats from the sky.
You cannot tell me 70% of Nigerian men 30 and above are married. That's false. You cannot tell me 80% of Nigerian women over 40 are single or divorced. That's false.
Or never been married, single, divorced.
No, that's too much. But I think. I don't know how to explain it. When I was talking to the guy a couple of weeks ago, like he mentioned in the beginning, like, yeah, most of the time there is a preference. And I talked to many guys about this because I talk to a lot of men and I have a lot of like conversations with men. It doesn't have to be intimate. It's not, oh, they trying to get with me, I'm trying to get with them. Like I really try to understand men the way they think, even though
instead of judging them, instead of just jumping to judge them, because they different for sure.
Right. Trying to understand it without being a pick-me, right? Without giving them excuses, without, making up stories for them. And a lot of them will just say, I think the biggest thing I've noticed with the men is that they have a preference, but they're not close to other people. Versus the women literally have a preference and they're close to other people.
It's not a preference, it's like a standard. Like they can't, like they almost, the average Nigerian woman is like, they're not really dating. I'll bring this up. We talk about preference. I've briefly talked to non-Nigerian guys, and they will say that like they're in Houston, right? They meet so many women who are Nigerian, but they've noticed like Nigerian women don't really give them the time. Like they're not really like they can tell like they're not their first option. Like they want their own men, right? Like they're not like, even if they talk to you, it's almost like because they don't have a choice or because they couldn't find their man. Versus I feel like when a Nigerian man may talk to a woman or marry a woman that's not Nigerian, I don't feel like he's doing it with like a settling mentality. I feel like it's more like he likes her. You know what I mean? Like if he met a good Nigerian woman, he would have been with her and married her. But he also is not like, he's not tied to that. It's not like, oh, she has to be Nigerian or like, no. Like for the most part, men are just overall, they're more open-minded. Like we know that. Like they don't limit themselves in many areas the way women do. And I think that's also what gives them more options when it comes to, dating and relationships, because they give themselves more options by not being as picky, and they also have better options. Let's be real, but people are not ready to talk about that because this guy would say, "Oh, what's the issue of you giving someone papers or doing all of that?" But they won't talk about how many women have done that and been left. How many women have done that and been taken advantage of? Like I was out this weekend. This past weekend was National NBA Conference in Houston, and some girl she was telling us a story. She was dating some guy virtually in Nigeria. To cut a long story short, like he was just like, it's just crazy hearing stories about how like some of these men really be finessing, and she was African American, like she was Black American, how they really be trying to finesse women. So it's like you almost telling me to like let a man kind of finesse me. Like we also are Nigerian, right? So we know, I feel like we're more privy and we're more likely to know this game, because we understand our own. I'll never forget this quote, seeing it on some story online, is some lady had posted something about Nigerian men. Some lady had posted, leave them for their Nigerian women. They understand them better. And everyone was liking it. People were posting it. And I've seen that type of language more than once, in the sense that it's not to say cross-cultural relations can't work, because they do. But I can speak from my personal experience, not saying that I've never been married. But even when I see some women with like Nigerian men, I feel as if you can kind of tell sometimes they don't feel like that, like 100% comfort. Like they still kind of feel like, they kind of feel like different. I don't know how to explain it. Like they know, like they kind of feel like there's like some like, what's what I'm looking for? Like there's a level of relatability that they can't relate to. That's the word I'm looking to, and it makes sense, right? Because they grew up differently, and they, they have different cultural upbringing. There's certain things that they just won't really understand. That's becoming very common, Mr. E, especially from where we're from, New Jersey. It's becoming common, and I think that it really comes down to it being easier to get married because the men in Nigeria still value marriage. Their reasons may be, other. Of course, a lot of them want to come to America. Let's be honest. Let's not lie, because there's women in Nigeria. They can marry those women if they really wanted to be married. Of course, they rather marry a woman outside of America because she can, do more for them. It makes sense, right? But a lot of women, I feel like that even goes back to the point of them really wanting to be with a Nigerian guy, because it's like, if you're really only trying to date Nigerian men, and a lot of Nigerian men are dating everyone, you don't have a lot of options.
And like we talk about our culture sometimes, like we don't see the same thing in other cultures. Granted, we're not in their culture, right? Let's give an example, like a very strong culture. Let's say Indian culture, right? There's a lot of Indians like that are immigrants in America, but we never really hear of Indians like going back to India, like first gen like us. We don't really hear of them going back to India to like get spouses, or we don't really hear about them struggling when it comes to like marrying each other. I'm not saying it may not happen because I'm not in the community. I'm not in there. But for some reason, it seems like the other cultures have found a way, even in America, to keep their culture. I don't know the word I want to use, like to be able to keep men and women together of the same culture.
No, we didn't play. We should. If you could pull up that Instagram video of the girl who sounded like Wendy Williams that we seen a couple of weeks ago, that was talking about things to do if you plan on marrying a man in Nigeria. She made a point about how, like, by the time you get older, a lot of Nigerian men, they're not coming to these events. They're not going to the UIUs. They're not going to the the family functions. They kind of fade out of like community, right? Mm-hmm. So you go out. We talk about being in New Jersey. You go out, you just see a bunch of women. Versus, I feel like these other cultures, like Indians, I feel like they do a really good job in keeping up their community. Like being like, it's not just women, it's both of them. Like they grow up together, they have their little communities, they have their family friends, they go to the same events. Even if they're older, they mix with each other, they still mingle, they still keep that culture. We know we're American, like born and raised in America. It's hard to see men, let's say a Nigerian man who was born and raised in America, but that's into their culture the way that we are. Like I feel like men lose their culture easier. They're not, especially like Nigerian. I don't know. Maybe it's a part of them trying to fit in, getting bullied, trying to be Americanized, but men lose their culture.
Yo, man. What's up, man?
Right. They want to wear certain clothes. They don't want Gino making fun of them. Gino talking about his muscles, build, his dressing. This guy needs to go to the gym, get some muscle, get a fade. Nigeria, exactly. Like they don't want to be made fun of. So they trying to be cool and look American. And they kind of, I'm not eating that food. I'm not going to these events. I'm not like, now it's trending, right, to be Nigerian, But even in Houston, I heard stories, people telling me about like 10 years ago, men were hiding being Nigerian. Like it wasn't the way people think it is now. Like being Nigerian was not this big flex. Like, everyone wants a Nigerian man. Everybody wants this, that. Like it wasn't always like that. So I feel like women hold on to culture more. So I think that's why you see a lot of women, struggling to find their male counterparts who are equally like into their culture. So you see a lot of them either going back home, or even if they don't go back home, they marry or date men in Nigeria who were like raised in Nigeria. Like, like have that like proper Nigerian upbringing, not like their American-born Nigerian American counterparts. It's very common, when you compare it. So yeah, I think there's a lot of factors, and I don't necessarily feel like they don't have a preference, because they do, but like you said, they're not really stuck on it. They're not stuck on their preference. I'm the black. It's funny it's so funny you mentioned this, because I met a lady and she was talking about the guy she was talking to, and all of a sudden he ends up married to a woman who was like really, really big, like after they had just broken up in America. So I don't know whether that's a thing. I don't know if they necessarily like them, or they feel as if they're easier prey when it comes to dating, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not a man. I'm not a Nigerian man. So Nigerian man can speak. I do believe culturally, we're more accepting of bigger bodies for sure. Like being big is not like, it doesn't have that like negative stereotype that I feel like the Western world puts on like people who are overweight, obese. It doesn't have as negative as long as you have like a shape and you have a body. People, especially men, I feel like are more like able to overlook you being overweight. But I don't know. I can't speak for Nigerian men. Any Nigerian men in the chat, they can speak to it. But yeah, Nana. So do you feel as if
Well, your friend, you need to tell your friend to join. The one that said he was going to join when we talk about the one that he's Nigerian, but he's married to an African American woman.
Okay.
We talk about why he did it and how the Nigerian girls were treating him when he first came to America. He was the one. So I feel like when I hear these stories, right? This is just my opinion. I hear a lot of these stories, and again, I'm very reasonable. Like I'm a reasonable person. I can see things from both sides, but I don't think a lot of these issues, like the guy was explaining, are particular to an ethnic group of women. I think it's particular to, yes, maybe an ethnic group, but also women of a socioeconomic status. I think those women, I think a lot of Black women in general just struggle with that. I don't think it's necessarily just related to like the culture, the background that you have. I just think it's natural that as you're getting older, you have more for yourself, you're more established, you make more money, that you're looking for more in a partner, which is the downfall of settling down later in life, right?
Yeah.
Because you settle down at 24, you settle down at 25, you settle down at...
It's easier to get someone,
most likely you're not going to have as much. It's easier to build. Not everyone's scared to build because you do build a bear. You don't know what's going to happen, right?
You enjoy all your building, yeah.
Right, men and women, right? It's both ways. Men and women are both scared of that building process these days. So I get what, like, even your friend has said that time in our live. I get what he's saying, but I also see so many. I don't know. Maybe because I'm in it, I'm a bit biased. And because I'm a first gen, I'm Nigerian American. And I just see a lot of women even go back to Nigeria and get husbands. So like, how can you say those women are picky?
Right.
Like, how can you say those women are unreasonable? How can you say they don't want to help someone or they're not like, that's so extreme. You know what I'm saying? So like, if that's even becoming common, then how with the same breath are we going to say that Nigerian women are so demanding? They expect so much. They want so much. They're not appreciative. Their standards are too high. So,
and this is what they don't remember. I remember someone even making a comment is like, Nigerian women's high standards are why other women are enjoying Nigerian men. That's what they forget, because if these men weren't raised with women who had a lot of expectations for them, whether it's their mother, whether it's society, whether it's the women they're dating, a lot of them wouldn't have the ambition they have. Like that's part of their cultural upbringing, right? So it's almost you're saying like, it's like you're kind of mad at me for having standards, but you're benefiting off those standards. Of course, they shouldn't be ridiculous and overdone. And you need to do this, you need to do that. And we also have to remember, being in America, I believe most women are more reasonable. We understand it's a different society. It's a two income, place. You need two incomes for the most part. Even in Nigeria, things are changing. Things are becoming more expensive. You need two incomes. So I don't think the average Nigerian woman in America is expecting a man to pay all her bills or to do all these stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I feel like most women are very reasonable. Like I said, is maybe they're meeting the women who have just came here, maybe the ones who still kind of have like that Nigerian mentality, who are like, used to maybe having men do certain things for them. But a woman who's been in America, whether she was born and raised here, at least been here for a significant amount of time, knows that, life here is different and she has to adjust. I'm looking for something.
Yeah. So anyone want to join in and talk about their experience, like, with dating and, on your prints, how's that going? Just explain like, what you think. Like, do y'all see a lot of stuff trending online, or maybe because of people we follow or the stuff that we see, it comes up on our feed? Because I just don't remember like a few years ago seeing this much stuff about Nigerian men. Again, I don't know if it's always been like this, maybe, and just I wasn't paying attention, or I think Portia kind of blew it up too, like her getting married. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's like a recent trend. Again, maybe that's in my head. Maybe that's true. I just aware of what was going on in the the social media world. What time does St. Louis, the Nigerian culture, still is strong here? What's
Really? I have a lot of Niger. You're saying you have a lot of Nigerians in Gino and St. Louis, Gino. That's what you're saying. That's interesting. Missouri. Missouri. Kansas City is in Missouri, right? Yeah, I've heard of Nigerians being in Kansas City, and I think y'all have another main like big city there besides St. Louis and Kansas City. What's another major city in St. Louis? I think I have heard of St. Louis before. But yeah, where's Mia?
Does anyone want to join the chats? Don't be scared. Click on the link. We don't bite. We really don't bite. I actually have Instagram up. I was going to show something else, but I forgot the other video I was going to show.
The one about Nigerian men being Sims?
No.
I'm literally about to text you, like, where are you? We need you to, hi, Mia, because, Mia will tell you she don't want no Nigerian man. So I think it's also the extreme, too, right? Because there's, like, two sides. Like, I feel like there's women who are, like, all into, like, I want to be a Nigerian man. And then there's women who have maybe dealt with a Nigerian man and be like, oh, never again. Like, this is too much. Or they have their own, like, personal preferences why they prefer, like, non-Nigerian men. Like, they're not really on that time. And like I said, I think a lot of the desire for a Nigerian man is financial. A lot of it is the perceived the idea that this Nigerian man is going to spend on you. He has this money. He's going to do this for you. He's going to do that for you. And I think that's why even one of the other videos I was referring to, why I feel like even sometimes, like I talked about my friend, that's not always a good impression because it puts a lot of pressure on men. Period. Because now if you watching all this media and you see Portia got a $500,000 car and she got this and she has this and that, and everyone's running, let me go get my Nigerian man. So now you go date your Nigerian man and telling you, I can't wait, you gotta wait till the next paycheck, or I don't have that, or I can't afford that. It's almost like, but I thought y'all all had money. You know what I mean? Like I thought y'all all spent, because it's not true, especially people who are not Nigerian. You got to know the tribe. I'm going to keep it there, because not all Nigerian men spend like that. Not all Nigerian men are generous. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to end it right there on this. There's some Nigerian men who, before they give you $1, you going to beg.
True. Yeah. I'm going to pull up.
I'll take
the video. Sorry, go ahead.
The city of Missouri is 4 hours away, and Kansas is like 3 hours away. Okay, got it. Mia, okay. From your personal experience, what are your pros and cons of Nigerian men? Okay, I think the pros is like just having the same cultural understanding, the ambition, the drive. I think that's more so in the marriage part. Because I won't lie, I'm like I said, I'm ashamed to say this. I've never dated a Black American man, and I'm born and raised in America, right? But I think low key, part of that apprehension is just having in my mind that like American men don't really get married like that. That's the truth. Like I'm not saying that it's true, but I'm saying I feel like that has kind of been like how I feel, how I've been like not necessarily conditioned, but like thought like, marriage is not, especially if you watch social media and you're on all these sites. Like I didn't grow up really seeing a lot of Black American men advocating for marriage. That wasn't my experience. So I think part of like I guess the pro for Nigerian men is that they actually will marry you. Like they're not going to date you indefinitely for the most part. Like this is not our culture. That's not how like we're raised. People may do it, and that's fine for them if that works for them. But like it's harder to see a Nigerian man just living with a woman long term and just having kids and not being married to her. Like the average Nigerian woman's not even going to allow that, because it's almost like an insult. Like you don't value me. Like how could you sit here and just be living with me and touching me, and I'm having kids for you, and you won't give me the highest honor of being your wife? You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't fly. So I think that's another pro. The con can be the ego. Nigerian men have a lot of ego. Respect is very big for them. Of course, the ego it dies down when the woman's not Nigerian, but we're not ready to get into that tonight. But they definitely let more pass for non-Nigerian women, so they know how to adjust that ego. But when it comes to Nigerian women, they have a lot of they can have a lot of ego. And another con I would say is I don't know. I think it's more so the ego part, and maybe not being as emotionally intelligent and open with their feelings, because also the way a lot of them are raised. Oh Dana Prestige is here. Hi. Hello. Thanks for joining us. I think part of it is, like I said, their upbringing, like not being able to be as, expressive or emotional or having to always be like strong. I think a lot of men struggle with that overall. I would say another one that's controversial would be maybe not being as honest. But I think I've learned that a lot of men, unfortunately, are not that honest. And I don't think it's necessarily a cultural thing. I think maybe the cultural part could be how they go about it, could be a little different. But from my experience, I feel like if a man likes you, he may be more likely to be dishonest about things that he feels as if is going to push you away from him. That's just the truth. So like if they feel as if you knowing like something about their past, or you knowing that, they have a child, or you knowing that, something, that they feel as if you wouldn't be okay with, or their lifestyle that they like, are outside, or like, that something like they're going to try and hide that from you because they don't want to lose you. I'm not giving excuses for lying. I
really do you think that's all men? I don't think that's specific to the tribe.
I think a lot of men are not as honest about certain things, yes, especially when they feel as if they've sized you up. They feel as if you're looking for this, and that, and they kind of put in their mind that they don't really qualify for that, but they still really like you. So it makes sense. Like, why would you come out? Not that it's not right. I'm not justifying it, but you have to understand why. That's why I don't really get mad at men lying as much anymore. Like it used to really bother me. It still does, but like I have a little bit more empathy. Like, like they're trying to kind of keep you. And they know the truth. They know that the truth is not going to keep you. That's the truth. They know that if you know their truth, there's a likelihood that you're going to walk away, and they don't want to lose you. So they start telling half truths. Let me give a yellow example right now. So I met some guy casually last week, right? So he tells me some story. He's going through a divorce breakup, and how his wife is really insecure about something, whatever. So I keep digging, because the thing I've learned is that a lot of times we all have our natural biases, but I've learned, because I date men, I don't date women, so I can't speak to what women do. A lot of times men will tell the side of the story and they leave out a lot of important details, right? So he keeps prying and talk about how like she's really this, she's that, she doesn't trust him. And I asked him, have you done something in the past that will make her not trust you? After digging, he finally tells me that he cheated. So of course it makes sense that she's going to be acting a certain type of way. So I'm just giving you that like it's not random. She's not just acting crazy and acting insecure and doing a lot, and now her, you know what I mean? Like you did something that hurt her or that broke her trust, and now she's reacting to that. So I'm just giving that example how like I had to even pull that out of him. But a lot of men, they will not tell you. They won't tell you these important things because they don't want you to look at them a certain type of way, or they don't want to kind of turn you off.
Gino said, I'm Black American. I've been married. Both my brothers been married. All my male first cousins are married. Yeah, so it is a stereotype.
It is stereotype. Also, remember, where are you based in America? Because I think that's also a factor too. We're from the Northeast, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like coming to the South has really given me a very different outlook on things. Because even I remember we had lives earlier, and people like years ago, and a lot of Nana talks about being in Charlotte and noticing a lot of Nigerian men with Black American women. Like remember you mentioned a part of it is you feel like they have a lot of cultural similarities, like the Black people in the South to Africans. You know what I mean? So I think that's a factor. Age is also a factor. Gina, I don't know your age. I don't know if you want to reveal that, but I'm talking about more like men, like based on like the millennials, like men in their 30s, men like right now in this upcoming generation. There's a lot of messaging around, marriage, a lot of negativity. Oh, she's gonna leave you, take everything. I feel like a lot of Black men they don't really have a positive outlook on marriage.
It's not like probably 30 or 40, 50 years
right.
ago.
I go through some of our comments. I read a lot of, I remember one older Black guy, Black American man was talking about, he's married, his family members, I'm like, yeah, how old are you? He's like, you're right, I'm in my 50s. Like, that's different. Like, that's a different generation. I'm talking about now, like people like 35 and under, like the Black men who are in their 20s, 30s, how do they view marriage? How many of them are getting married? How many 30-year-old Black men do you know that are married? 30-year-old. RIP, I don't want to be controversial, bring up the guy that was, that a couple weeks ago that was taken. He was like, 31, 32, married, already had like 2 kids. Like for other age groups, for other ethnicities, 30-year-old is not young for a man to be married. But it's hard for you to see a Black man that's 30 and married. in this day and age. Like, it's not common. It's not the average. It's not the norm. It's not average. Like, a 30-year-old Black man who's married is young.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a 20. That's like a 23-year-old right man.
Sorry, Gino's question: are most Nigerian men over 6 foot? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, at least not Igbo men. Igbo men are a bit shorter, but
I have a boyfriend. I've been talking to him a year and 9 months. He lived in Lagos. So it's about Lagos, Lagos, and he had a good job. They don't want to pay him much, or he worked a month before he received his money, but they usually get paid salary monthly.
Yeah, Nigeria is common that they get paid monthly.
You want to come to Houston, but I think his problem is money because they don't make money over there. Okay.
Yeah, plane ticket.
Judah, go ahead. You said you've been talking boyfriend a year and 9 months. Have you guys met in person? This is an honest question because I'm not trying to be funny. Because you didn't mention that, you mentioned that he wants to come to Houston. Have you ever been to Nigeria? Have you at least visited him in Lagos? Please answer that.
Judy, you need to join the link so we can really give you the tea free.
Would you consider dating such married or non-Nigerian men only want to date American? I'm open, okay? It's 2025.
Not open. Not open. Nana's not open. I'm open.
I'm more open than you. Okay, who did you just throw off this weekend? Was he German? Okay? And Gussie has in her mind that she's so open and she'll do what you both. She's flexible. But I think in reality, everyone naturally, people don't want to hear this. Naturally, everyone like their own. Mm-hmm. Every culture, ethnicity prefers their own. So I'm not going to lie to
the tribes. Mm-hmm.
My preference is definitely Nigerian man, but it is not end all be all. And everyone close to me knows that. It is not. I have talked to people.
Petra, Justina, y'all come. Can you co-sign this? Everyone close to you. Everyone's co-sign.
Nigerian men are my preference, but sometimes I don't even know if we're really compatible, to be honest.
You're not too smart.
I'm just saying, Louis, he's in the Midwest and he's 48 years old.
Yeah, you're older, Gina.
Is it hard to find Nigerian men that you're interested in your cities or hard? I'm in Charlotte, so it's not really a lot of Nigerians here. I don't know. Ngozie's in a place with a lot of Nigerians.
I wouldn't say that is hard, but I think that I don't know. I think I talk about this. I was talking to my sister about this earlier today. Is that Houston has a lot of Nigerians, but I feel like we don't have a place where I feel as if
Houston does it? Come on, stop.
Listen. We're like-minded, professional, younger, unmarried, under 40, like where they congregate. Like, I don't know of that place. Like, we have spots that you go to, see a lot of people, see a lot of Black people, see a lot of Nigerians, but I feel like we don't really have a scene. Petra said, I've never seen any of y'all with a non-Nigerian. This is coming from an open-minded one. Leave her, Petra. She's saying she's open. I'm open.
Well, let me play this video with y'all real quick. Let's take an intermission while someone join. I'll put the link. Let me play this video real quick.
I'll put the link again.
I just started laughing. I thought this was funny because even the guy is following with the trend. But listen what he said. Let me unmute. Let me see what he said.
About to walk in TJ Maxx. As you can see, I'm in the African community. See? You see how right there? I'm in the African community. This is where the African shop at. I see why y'all ladies like hanging with Africans. Yeah, I wasn't lying. You ain't got to pay for shit. I want to hang with them niggas for 2 weeks. I ain't paid for a motherfucking thing. Hookah, lamb chops, Don Julio. I say, man, fuck that. I'm hanging with the Africans. When you hang with niggas, I got to pay for everything. It's a nice African shirt right here, but they don't really be wearing. See, when the Africans wear sky blue, you know that's the grandfather African. I'm trying to be the nephew African. I got to find me something nephewish.
Oh my God, the first time I watched that, I was cracking up. Like,
that's the reputation that Nigerian men spend. That even if it's not like over the top, right? Even everyone's not getting a Simon, right? They're not getting some ultra rich guy. But I guess the idea is that like, even it's not like it's a cultural thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, for example, in America, we go to birthday dinners and everyone at the end, you split the bill. Everyone's doing calculations. Sometimes we split for their birthday celebrant. From my experience, what I've seen and what I've observed in Nigeria, if someone is throwing their birthday, they're paying for it. Like, it's not something where you're bringing a bunch of people and then you're dividing a bill. Like, I feel like it's almost like a cultural thing. It's like you're supposed to take care of people that you invite out. You're supposed to take care of people that like it's like you're hosting them almost. So I think that is part of, the cultural thing. And of course the men, the men do it on another level. But yeah, Gino said, this is so true. I prefer Black American women, but in my teens, I attracted other races and nationalities of women until I leveled down. Okay, Gino, why? And let me give you a quick story about this weekend. Why I be telling y'all when people say that we don't look Nigerian, why I feel like it's kind of offensive. So this girl telling her story about some Nigerian guy. Wild. I'm not gonna put her business out there. Basically, he was not serious. And then she said something. I'm like, oh yeah, something about Nigerian men. She's like, wait, you're Nigerian? Oh my God, you're Nigerian? She's like, oh my God, you're Nigerian? You're pretty. I mean, I don't mean that. I don't mean that Nigerian women aren't pretty. I'm just saying that, and she had to catch herself because I'm just like, when you say stuff like that, what do you mean? Like, you have to go deep. Like, I'm not saying that Nigerian. I just feel like looking at you, I just, when I met you, I just wouldn't think you're Nigerian. I would just think something else, but I just wouldn't think you're Nigerian. So Gino, you speak into why you prefer Black American women. Is it a look thing? Is it a cultural, you guys are more, you understand each other more? What's your reasoning? Judy, no, I have not met him in person at all. We do what? I don't know if you were meant to finish Judy. So what is stopping you from going to Nigeria? Are you afraid? Is it financial as well? I understand it is expensive. Yeah, I'm not.
Judy, get on the plane, please. It's 1 year, 9 months. That's too long. You can't stay in a relationship with someone for 1 year.
Off season, you get a ticket for 800 to 1,000 from Houston, right? You're gonna have to go to Dubai or Qatar to get the cheapest tickets, or Turkish Airlines. You can go for under 1,000 off season. You gotta go meet that man. You gotta make sure that what y'all are doing is legit. See his living environment. See, if he is who he's been saying he's been for a year plus. It's funny you saying this, Judy, because it kind of reminded me of the story of a girl she was talking about this weekend. The guys were there, there's Nigerian guys. I'm like, y'all don't kind of be embarrassed that women from America are going to Nigeria to date men? Like, I feel like as men, like that should kind of make y'all feel kind of weird, because it's like,
America should be embarrassed.
Yeah, because it's like women are leaving men here, just kind of showing how some of them may not be serious. Like, if they have to leave the men here and start going to different countries to like seriously date other men, it's like, what are y'all doing? They're like, I mean, it depends. I don't know.
I'm a Nigerian born and raised in the UK, live in Atlanta. The Keishas are out here running after Nigerian men because they think we swim in money. I let them know I'm one of the broke Nigerians.
Oh my God, let me see.
I'm going to answer this question for you.
Why do y'all think y'all are single or not married if y'all meet Nigerian men frequently wherever y'all go? I think this is a layered question. I think we talk about this on the channel. Being married isn't necessarily hard, if you want to be honest. Like, if you really want to be married, like, it's really not hard. The issue is marrying someone you feel as if you can really sustain a life with. Like, and of course you don't want to overthink it. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But I think that comes down to it. Like, I feel like you can meet these men, but are they serious? Like, are they, you know what I mean? They're there, they're there. You're meeting them, but do they want what you want? Like we talked about earlier. Like we talked about earlier, a lot of Black men, they're rethinking marriage. They're not really confident about it.
Can I talk? Okay, Mia, let me summarize what Ngozi's trying to say. She's using parables. Let me summarize it. Why some women, I won't say myself, because who even told you I'm single? But anyway, why some women, all right, that's why I put my shades on so I can be low key. Why some women, Nigerian women, are single even to meet Nigerian men? Let's be honest. A lot of times the men who are eager to settle down and eager to marry the women usually are not really the most desirable men.
Yep.
That's just the truth. And me and my cousin, we talk about this all the time, and people don't want to have these real conversations. Usually, there's a small group of men that a lot of women want. And if you want to get one of those men, it's extremely competitive.
You're going to be on rotation. You're going to be you're auditioning.
Competitive to get one of those men. So a lot of women, as they get older, you start reevaluating values. You start reevaluating what's important. Time is going. You want to start having children. You want to settle down. And then that list that used to have 30 things, every month, one thing is getting cut off. Every month, something's going to kick up. He has to be 6'5". Okay, now I'll do 5'10". He has to make 105,000. Just have a career. He has to be Black. Just be a man. He has to be this. Just be heterosexual. You have this list of things that you really, that you really, really want in a partner. Nothing's wrong with that. But the reality is that a lot of times you'll meet. I could just speak for myself. I have my shades on. I'm just being low key. I can just speak for myself. A lot of these men who are eager, I'm telling you, this men who meet, they'll marry you in 2 months.
Mia, let me be transparent, Mia, because you're a real one. Within the last month, 2 men have asked to meet my parents. 2 men that I don't like. They were dead serious. One told me, when is the earliest you could see yourself being married? I said, I would like to date someone at least 1 year. This was a month ago. He said a year is too long. He wants to be married by December.
I hope I do it for us.
And I go home. I'm just like, why can't this be the man that I want telling me let's get married by December? Like, why is it girls that want too many options? I say human beings are only as loyal as their options. It's men and women. It's not a man thing. Let's not put this on man. The woman who is 25 and she's gorgeous, she's fit, she's attractive, she's not moving the same way a 38-year-old woman's gonna move. Because she knows that she has a lot of options. She's moving differently. She can be pickier. She can require more things because she knows that she's a hot commodity. Human beings are only as loyal as their options. So like Nana said, a lot of those men who are very quick is because they don't feel as if they can get better. But the man who has this list of a bunch of women, he can get better than you. So he's not going to be so quick to settle on you and to go and be serious with you when he can meet a girl tomorrow that's better than you. Quote unquote.
So round up related. This is definitely related to Mia's question. And oh my gosh, I've been talking about this recently. Ngozi and Neka, as diaspora Nigerians, do you find it difficult to relate to the typical born and bred Nigerian man? Yes, I think that's part of it. I think part of it is also that I think I would do best for the Nigerian like me, born and raised in America.
I've never dated one. Those
ones are very hard to find. They're very hard to find.
They're very Americanized.
They're very watered down. So we end up meeting more like Nigerian guys that just came here, and the way they view life and the way I view life, total opposite. Their values, their morals, their reasoning, for the most part, I just can't sometimes
we talk about it. We have this criteria. They can be born and raised in Nigeria because I do think there's unique things, values that being raised in a country like Nigeria gives you. Like a developing country overall, I think it gives you a different outlook on life, and I do think it makes you appreciate life more, right? And I do think that
partially what gives you that hustle.
Thank you. I part of it why Nigerian men are known for having that grind because they've seen so much. Like they come from a place where they don't even have 1/10 of the opportunities the average American has. So I feel as if that's what really pushes them. But at the same time, you gotta come when you're still a little young. Like you want the ones that did a little high school here, that at least did college here. After minimum, that's college in America, because those are your formative years, and when in college is a part of your life where you're the most exposure, most likely
more adaptable.
Thank you. You're more flexible. You're seeing things. So even though you're coming a little later, that's I can notice. For example, we talk about TG, follow him a lot. He's one of my mentors as a woman. TG, he be going in. He talked up, his wife is Jamaican, and he talks about, Caribbean culture and how some of them view Americans. And I noticed you will see a lot of Caribbeans be with a Black American. And I think part of it is that their culture is more, it mixes easier. And I think that Caribbeans are more, they're more flexible because from my experience, they come to America when they're younger. So a lot of my friends who are Caribbean, their mother came here, she went to middle school, she went to high school. Like they don't come, like a lot of Nigerians come here older, their 20s and their 30s. So like they already are who they are. Like they haven't really, it's hard to meet a Nigerian that came here young. like in high school, like
I mean,
it's not
our
average.
parents' generation.
Yes, our parents' generation, like a lot of them came here much older. Even now, I feel like a lot of people immigrate older. Like they don't necessarily immigrate when they're 14, because that means you have to come with your whole family. A lot of people are not coming with their whole family. They're coming as individuals, right? So I think that part of it is when you come when you're younger, like for school and stuff, you're younger, you're more flexible, your mindset is different. Like from my experience, I feel like Caribbeans are more Americanized. Like they blend in more. You'll meet someone who is Jamaican, but it's like, yeah, they're Jamaican and they have their culture, but they still also can like kind of pass for being American. Like after one generation, they're American. Versus for Nigerian, is like after like I feel like for the Nigerians to really come out of you, is not what I'm saying the goal is. You need like a couple generations. Like on average, like it's harder. You know what I mean? So I do think that is a factor. And then it's about the cultural difference. It's like, are you connected on Facebook or Instagram? She said they'd be WhatsApp. They on WhatsApp call.
Girl, if you're trying to marry a man in Nigeria, you can't be afraid of Nigeria, honey. Okay? If he's in Nigeria, don't be scared of Nigeria, because if you marry a traditional Nigerian man, you are going to Nigeria with him. Your kids are going to Nigeria with him. So if you're scared of Nigeria already, it may be a red flag. You cannot be scared of it. I understand you're by yourself. You never met him in person. I definitely am sensitive to that fact. But I mean, it's not, Nigeria is becoming like, don't let people scare you. Nigeria is becoming a little bit more touristy. You just have to go stay in the big cities.
Don't go stay in Mushin or so. Don't go stay in some like I don't know where he lives.
From the village, do not go to his village. Don't go to his town.
Go there. Don't go to his town.
Let me just be quiet.
At least let him come to Ikeja. He don't have to come to the island, but even the mainland, at least be like in Ikeja or something. Let me do. You skip Gino's comment. I'm Black America. I've been married. No, not this. We talk about his family. Gino said, I know a few Black men who in their mid-30s to be married at work. However, I don't know any hood ninjas married. So you, Gino, you hitting a point right there. But I think that's the problem. It's like when I go back to growing up, how people have a perception of Africans is to feed the children. It's the flies in your face. A lot of people who have not been exposed to different types of Black Americans, I feel like they make Black Americans like a monolith. Like when they think of Black American, thinking about like hood, that's not the only, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like it's interesting that you make this distinction, because I do think that does have something to do with it. Like exposure, you know what I mean? Maybe did you grow up with parents who were married? You know, did you grow up in a 2-family household? Of course, like if you did, I feel like more likely you are going to get married. Mm-hmm. So that may be it. You're right, you know, because even the book I'm reading right now, I can't put it down. Candy Ryan, Can't Let You Go. You know, her man from the description, Josiah, he's everything, and they got married very young. They got married very young, like very young, you know. So, and you know, they're from Atlanta, so I do think sometimes that is a stereotype and a misconception. Y'all don't look like you're what? You're gonna say Nigerian? That's what I think. No, these shades are killing. You didn't do a little on this. Daddy just sells right in the corner. There's gonna be a lot of Black American women going to Nigeria to find a husband. Yeah, and Judy, you need to. Nigeria December is expensive, right? But it depends on what you're going for, like what type of experience you want, and if you don't want to be as isolated, you don't have to go in December. She don't want to go. She wants to go when other things are going on, right? To experience Nigeria in a different way. But I would say just go off season and go see your man. Go see your man. If you did on the bottom, early January is still like fake off season. Yeah, or end of January, until February. February is a good month. It's off season. Tickets are the cheapest usually in February. Everyone has traveled already. I don't know what type of work you do, because you may need to go when there's holidays. I bet they were the type that's born and raised in Nigeria. They're usually the ones that call you our wife on day one. What you mean, the men? The ones you said wanted to get married by December. I'm telling you. Oh, like it really makes you sad. And then it's really hitting the point. It's like I said, being married. Let's not act like I'm not trying to be arrogant. Getting married is not hard. Like if you really just want to be married. Like there are a lot. When people say men don't want to get married, no, that may be part of it. Is the men that you want. We have to specify. We have to be very specific. There's a lot of men who want to be married. You just may not want them for whatever reason. I don't look like Igbo and Yoruba women in St. Louis, Missouri. I would never know you was Nigerian. Same with my other favorite YouTuber, Neka on Yellow for. Oh, I like Neka. We don't have. Yeah, I like her. Yeah, but I think her mother's Black American. I believe her mother's American. Her father is Nigerian. No, he wants me to come, but it's just me. I'm saying, Judy, if you don't mind, how old are you? Are you in your 20s? And and you want him to come, do you feel like you will be more comfortable? Which I understand, but you remember there's a green card implicated. Like it's not that easy for the average person just to come to America if they don't already have like a green card. I mean, not a green card, if they don't already have a visa. Mm-hmm. So it's easier for you. You just got to go and get some Nigerian, it's me a little, I don't know, you live in Houston, yeah. You could get a visa. There's an little embassy they backed up from what I heard right now, but you just got to get a little visa and go to Nigeria. For them, they have to go through a process, get approved. They being strict with all this stuff right now. So I get it. Ideally, I do believe a man needs to come to you first, whether it's in America, whatever countries he is in. But Nigeria is a little bit of a different scenario because it's just not that easy for people to up and just get visas and visit other countries. And you also mentioned a financial aspect too. It's cheaper for you to go there versus him coming here. Yep,
a Nigerian man would tell you he's ready to marry you on the same day he met you. Yep, ding, ding, ding. I have the same problem with the women. So you're a guy in Atlanta, the British guy. Okay, that was in Atlanta. Simple things like sense of humor is off. You aren't connecting with the men you want. I would not marry a woman who isn't my type of preference. I'd rather be single. Men will sleep with girls that aren't their type. He really want me to come and we get married and he come back with me. I wouldn't advise that.
Yeah. On the first visit, no marriage. Even if we propose this, we telling you the truth. The first visit is observation. It's to scope the environment. It's to match up what he's been telling you, but what you really see with your own two eyes. I don't suggest on first visit, no proposal, no. You can come back the next.
But 1 year and 9 months, and you're in a relationship, and you don't think it's strange? You haven't seen this man? Like, in all due respect, like, I'm not trying to be. I'm just wondering, like, is it maybe something you won't want to say on the live? Is there someone?
Jude, you need to join the studio. I'm sharing the link again. I don't know if you have stage fright, but you got to join the studio because you need a one-on-one. This is free consulting I'm giving you. You need a one-on-one. I don't want you going there and getting. We protect ours over here, okay?
Would your family and friends be accepting to y'all bringing a non-Nigerian man, or would they question your decision? Friends, nobody. I don't think friends. That's an issue because all my friends are Americanized. Even though most of them are Nigerian, but family. It wouldn't, like, I definitely think there would be some questions. I'm not saying, but at this point, I think they'll be fine.
You skip Gino when I asked him why he prefers Black American women. I like Black American women for the shades of brown skin. I like a woman darker than me. It turns me on, but I don't discriminate. I have dated all race women. I just prefer Black American. I'm saying why Black American? Is Jamaican different? Is Nigerian? Are you saying just like Black women? You're saying you like Black American women. I'm saying particularly, is it like a cultural thing because you can relate to them more? Why Black American versus just a Black woman? Because you talk about shades. Black women of all ethnicities are different shades, Let me see.
Black man said, Judy, run. Why you say run? Because the red flags are hitting you with an uppercut. Gina said, I was raised middle class, didn't grow up in the hood. My father raised me. Friend? Oh my God. Both my nephews are married.
Okay, I'm gonna share. Okay, I'm gonna share with you. Don't worry. I don't know how. Email us ejimanaija@gmail.com, and I'm gonna share you my business number because we gotta make sure this is legit. I understand you want to protect your integrity. Think this is your first time joining, so we don't want to put you on the spot. Email. I'm gonna type the email and post it. It's in our description box of all our videos. But yeah, girl.
A few African women, but I couldn't get past the talking phase. Their accents was too hard to enjoy the conversation with them. Y'all don't have that hard accent. So I just always wonder, even with the American women that are dealing with the Nigerian guys, how they get past the accent.
Right. I used to ask my ex that, how do they talk to y'all? They love it. They love the accent. It turns them on. I'm like, you sure they told you that? Because I'd be like, I used to ask, what do y'all talk about? Like, how do they even like I just feel like and I'm Nigerian. I'd be like, wow, this is
love does not care about an accent, okay? Y'all are being childish. Real love does not care about an accent. Real love.
My girlfriend, her son just proposed to his girlfriend. He's like 27. He been wanting to get married, but didn't have the right wife. And I'm telling you, even though you're not in the South, I'm trying to spend you in the Midwest. So from what I've observed, I've been to Michigan. I haven't been to St. Louis. I watch a YouTuber that's from there. The lifestyle, things are slower there. So I feel as if I could see it more being like, it's kind of like being in the South. Like I know the Midwest is different, it's not the South, but I mean like just overall somewhere that's more rural, somewhere that's more of a slower pace.
Just say that if the likelihood of people of color settling down is usually correlated to education level, right?
Yeah.
People that are more educated, or people who are more cultured, or people who just came from parents that are married, or they just grew up seeing marriage a lot. Like
if you watch all this TV, all this social media, you would think it will make you thinking that like no black man is getting married. Like it will really make you feel this. That's why you can't believe everything you see, because of course it's there, but it's also can be very magnified. Mia, would y'all consider dating an East African man? Why or why not? I guess I would. You know, I just think culturally they're very laid back from what I've seen and from my brief experiences. Yeah, it's different for sure. But East African is what Ethiopian, Kenyan, Rwandan, what other country? Djibouti.
Yeah, Judy. Guzzy gonna talk to you. She got more experience, and Guzzy gonna talk to you. And she's in Houston. Y'all might have to do this in person. Black are y'all on Insta? Yes, my Instagram is Nana. That should be in the description box of our video. That's mine. Nana Wow 4 and Guzzy's and Guzzy C Wow 4. We are on Instagram. We are on. Oh, look what Gino said. Gino said, nah, needing the rep K will let you forget his accent. Okay.
Right. Baby, I need 2,000. You need 2,000? Yes, I will send you the 2,000 now. Oh, man, I need my car note. I will send you the 700 now. That's how they be doing the accents when they do it on TV, when they try to do one African.
When all of this actually be like, these African men be like,
oh, baby, I like you.
I got like that. That's not how they sound. Coming to America accents.
Let me see. Someone, he said, not really culturally, because culturally, if I'm being self, I'm more compatible with Asian and white women culturally. Here we go. But he's okay, Judy. Yeah, that's not what he said. That we would have to go to another area. That he didn't want me to come to this area, which is Lagos. Lagos is huge, honey. So Lagos, if he's from Lagos, Lagos is a very big state. So you have the mainland, then you have the island, and even within that, there's a lot of different parts. Lagos is a very big place, it's like a lot of little areas, neighborhoods. So you have to be specific. Did he tell you the village he's from? Because he's saying he don't want you to come to this area. Not, I don't think he's saying don't come to Lagos. He just saying don't come to his like village, because where else would you go?
You don't know what he's saying, so just have a personal conversation with her, because they already making her nervous. Don't be nervous, Judy. Just take your time and just.
Do you all know who Sexy Red is and the rapper Nelly? They're from STL. We are like Chicago. We not that slow. Kansas, Jefferson. Okay, yes, STL. You in the main part. Yes, you're in the capital of Missouri, right? But I'm just saying overall, Missouri is not a fast-paced state. Like it's not. You know, they don't have a bunch of major cities. Like it's given more rural from my observation. Correct me if I'm wrong. What, Mia? You must be crazy. What are the differences between East Africans and Nigerians? I thought all Africans teach us the same. Why they're looking? No, that's one thing you would learn. Nah, a lot of East Africans don't even really consider us to be black. That's even to start with. They have.
You think of one country? That's one country.
That's not one. It's two. It's three. Nah, East African culturally. I remember first. Let me tell you the biggest difference. I always bring up this point. My girl is Kenyan. I be telling her this. When we went to Kenya, the biggest thing that stood out to me is how natural the women were or are. We didn't see no wigs. This was 2021. We saw one synthetic wig in all of Nairobi. We didn't see wigs. We didn't see weaves. We barely even saw makeup. The girls are just very simple. Very simple. Looks wise, you know, a lot of braids. They love the braids. They, like natural hair. It's like the average girl has her hair out like this. Culturally, social, food-wise, very different. Yeah, we're all African, you know, Ubuntu or whatever, but like culturally, as someone like from Kenya to me is almost like someone from like a different. Forget even talk about East Africa. How about within Nigeria?
Okay, let's talk about that.
Nigeria has hundreds of languages, so many tribes. I am Igbo. Me dating someone that's like Yoruba could be like two different worlds. Like a lot of differences from the food to the culture to the language, Benny, all the stuff they be saying, the music, so many differences. You know, Yoruba men, they won't leave me alone. So I'm fighting them off. I'm praying for them to praying God. My mother been warning me. I didn't listen. I'm just giving the example that we are both Nigerians, and me being with a Yoruba guy, it's like I'm learning. It's like, wow, y'all different. Y'all do this way. Whoa, they're speaking. I don't know what they're saying. And we both from Nigeria. If we went to Nigeria to visit family, we'd be going to different parts of Nigeria. We would be going to different regions. You know what I mean? So I know it's because of the way the media painted Africa like it's a continent, like it's a country. Africa is a continent and it's very diverse. Extremely diverse. Like in looks, in language, in food, in culture, in religion. Africa is very diverse. Yoruba with Brazilian grandma, other grandma. So why the grandmas are always the non-Nigerians? That's what's very interesting. Like, why do you see Nigerian women really go out? It's really interesting. No, we're not going to marry right away. He's just saying that we can marry, but I'm not going to marry right away. He understands that he want me to come and see his country and meet his. Yeah, so I'm saying, Judy, you strong for doing a year, and that's me personally. If you meet someone, I know it's because international is different. Y'all got to link up within a month. International, I give y'all 3 months. But yeah, you got to go see a man. I was sending information for the visa processing office. You got to go get that visa. And you need to go to Nigeria ASAPington, because I had a coworker named Kingsley. He was from Ghana. His accent was thick. Oh my God, I have to keep asking what he said that I couldn't understand. It was crazy. Like, yeah, that's why the men are don't want to be Nigerian. And because if it was a girl with an accent, she's cute, you won't be giving her that same pushback. You'll be like, oh yeah,
on those nasal accents,
right? Oh, I want to. They want to sound American. They want to start denying their culture because we won't really understand. We're Americanized, so we didn't grow up with like people. Like, yeah, people make comments about Africans growing up, but like, I don't know how to explain. Like, we didn't have those specific things that they can tie. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like it was directed. Like, I don't explain. Like, it's different from someone who has lived in Nigeria. Like they have the accent. It's different. The cultural background. So yeah, that's why these men don't want to associate with Africa. They want to be Americanized because they don't want men like Gino making fun of them. Oh, Pascal, you joined. I said, Nina, this is the friend you told me to tell to Link. That's what his he has a Black American wife. Africa is a continent with so many countries, and even in the country, a lot of ethnic groups and cultures. That's what I'm trying to explain to them. Someone had asked earlier about, I didn't know y'all look at East Africans differently. I'm like, what? East Africa? Yes, very different. I actually never met a Haitian or Jamaican woman. Well, let me say I've never met one who identified with her culture. Really? It's because of their location. So many up north from where we're from. Like so many. Okay, I think that's a geography thing. Why do Africans only hang with each other versus African Americans are more open to hang with everybody? Okay. Now talk about your experience living in Charlotte and what are some of the things you even speak about as someone who is Americanized, first gen, some of your experiences and your preferences socially when it comes to going out.
Okay, so Africans only hanging with each other. I think for first gens, like the ones born in America, even some of my friends who came in later in life, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think a lot of them have friends of different backgrounds, Caribbean, American, even white, Asian. But as you get older, I think what tends to happen is that people start to want more of that cultural experience. And they're also trying to preserve their culture in a way. And also a lot of people want to date someone within their culture. So what ends up happening is just naturally you're going to hang out with people who are like you, right? You have more in common. Even growing up, I always never forget. Like we had a clique. One of my friends from high school, she was African American, and just simple things she didn't understand. She didn't understand why I had to stay home and watch my brother. She didn't understand why I had to miss the part. She didn't get it. But my friend, shout out to my friend Adetola, she's Nigerian American like me. She the oldest of 4 children. She got it. I didn't have to explain myself to her. I didn't have to check. She naturally, she would come to my house. My mom was strict. She'd be visiting my neighbors. She would come and see me. She would come visit me. She understood, it just made our friendship easier.
Let me tell you, this thing called culture, sometimes that people try and minimize, culture is the lens that you see the world through. Like there's certain things you will never understand if you don't understand somebody's culture. I don't like when people say Black Americans don't have culture. That's not true. Black Americans do have culture. Like it's a different type of culture, but like everybody has culture. Culture is your preferences. It's the way you see life. It's things that are normal to you. You know what I mean? It's your way of life. So a lot of times people, I'll be honest. We talk about the Nigerian man. We talk about the clip. Being in Houston, I have met a lot of Nigerian men who are divorced, and their reasoning why they say they ended up divorced is cultural differences. Mm-hmm. I can't even count on my hands how many I've met. And so it's not to say it won't work. I know there's a lot of mixture. A lot of people are marrying different people. You have to be with the right person, right? But I'm trying to explain to you, like, there's certain things that someone who is from where you're from will understand without you explaining. And that could also be a good and bad thing, right? Because I remember this clip that was going viral last year about these two girls in Atlanta on Bufford Highway. It was like, I'm dating a Nigerian man. I stay in Bufford Highway. I'm dating. Like, it was like when people like doctors were doing it. Like, I'm something, and I never do. I'm something. I never do. So they would talk about like Nigerian men, and a lot of Nigerian girls will saw in the comments, "You're American. He would never marry you," and they were like, "We don't want to marry these men. These men are a terror. Like it's y'all Nigerian women who are so desperate, we let them do whatever they want." And I never realized. I talked to my older sister about how like some American women look at like African women as kind of being like timid, like like kind of being pushovers, not having a backbone, letting the men do whatever they want, cheat, womanize, and just staying because they want to be married, they want to be a wife. I didn't realize that really was a thing, like that mindset, until recently. So like I said, the culture can work to your advantage, it can work to your disadvantage, but there is nothing like having somebody from your culture. And even if they're not from your culture, they have to really be willing to understand your culture. I think that's the thing too. Like you could be with someone who is from somewhere else, but they have that eagerness. They want to learn more about you. They want to understand, how you were raised, why you think the way you think. You can't just push someone else's upbringing, their culture to the side and just say, "Oh, well, that's not mine. Oh, we in America." No, because that's a part of them. That's a part of them. The blacks in the hood has to do those things. They had to watch them. Yeah, you're right, Gino. Yeah, so it's not, you're right. Like it's like we said, it's also a class. Yeah, but the difference is like us is not necessarily like a socioeconomic thing. It's just like, oh, those are your siblings. You're supposed to take care of them. You know what I mean? Like, but I do agree with you. You're right. People in the black people period were kind of raised like that. It's not necessarily American or Nigerian thing. It could be a socioeconomic thing. Like if you are, if you didn't grow up with much, your parents can afford to get a babysitter, right? Because that's part of it. It's a financial. If your parents can afford a babysitter, then they're not going to have you taking care of your siblings. But I feel like for us, culturally, it's not really necessarily a money thing. It's more like you're supposed to take care of your younger siblings. Like that's your responsibility. Blackest Night said, culture equals a way of life, customs. Anyone who says Black Americans have no culture don't know the dictionary word. Yeah, it's not. I think why people sometimes say that's because the language thing. So a lot of people just think language means culture, which is not true. You don't know. Like language can be a part of it, but even a dialect, even what's the term you use? Vernacular. Like Black Americans have a vernacular. Like that's part of the culture. Like you don't have to be speaking another language per se to have culture. That's not true. I think Nigeria culture is similar to middle class Black Americans. A lot of stuff I be hearing about family sounds like common sense. Yeah, yeah. Like there are some similarities, and like that's why Nana said, coming to the South, even being in Houston, you notice a lot of Nigerian men with Black American women. Like it's very common. I'm Black American, but I have to pretend to relate to hood culture so I can smash. But ghetto culture is not how I was raised. It's alien to me. Most sisters identify Blackness with being thuggish. Interesting. All right, we're gonna round up y'all. Make sure y'all all like. We've been in hour 13 in honor of Nigerian independence. Nigeria's turning how old tomorrow?
65.
65. We need 65 lives. We need 65 super chats. We need $65. We need some. We need those super chats. And it's an hour 14. Y'all want to see us next week? Y'all gotta. We need those super chats. So why does Africans consider themselves so separate from African Americans when they come to the U.S. or have been living here for years, when other people consider all of us Black? Mia, this is a great question. That's why I was looking for you, Mia, because you be having the questions and you don't be holding back. I think if like we say, it comes down to culture, right, and identity. I'll be honest. Born and raised in America, I never identified with being American until going to college. Let me tell y'all why. Went to an African meeting. They're talking about, oh, Nigeria, da da da. Oh, and people are talking, oh, when did you come to America? I'm like, huh? Come to America? I've been here my whole life. I'm born here. Oh, you're not Nigerian. I won't lie. I was very offended when I would never forget, someone made that comment. But when I sat back and reflected, I understood what they meant. It's not that I say I'm not Nigerian. I'm not Nigerian in the way that they are. Because even you say that just Africans, no, even like the ones who are raised in there, they identify more with each other. Like the ones who were born and raised in Nigeria, they're more likely to be friends with other Nigerians like them because they have more to relate on. They look at someone like me almost like I'm too Americanized, like I'm, kind of like watered down. So I think it's not necessarily separate. I don't think sometimes it's always intentional. I think it comes down to relatability. Like they have more in common. Like they're not going to understand why, I have to work and send back half my paycheck to my family. You're going to look at them like, huh? They using you. You know what I mean? Like, why are you sending all your money back to Africa? That's normal for them. That's their culture. That's their way of life. They came here to help their family members. They're feeding and helping so many people. So there's certain things that they don't really have to explain. Like they will understand to them more. I remember having a little ex, whatever. He went to he did like some grad school in Howard residency. And I'm like, why don't you have any like African American friends? Like you went to grad school in Howard, like it's HBCU, like you must have met, Black Americans. And he was like, the ones in his class, he didn't really relate to them. Like he couldn't really identify, like he was older in his 30s, and he was like, they didn't really have much to, talk about. He felt like he related more with like the Nigerian students, like the proper, from Nigeria students. So I do think, it's relatability. It's I don't think it's always like intentional, like, oh, I'm just trying to isolate myself. It's just like we say, it's normal for people to identify with their own. Happy to be just a donation from the only brand. Y'all, you gonna make me dance, Gino. I'm still waiting for you. Start reading his questions. You read no more of your questions if you don't put a super chat in here, because I be reading everything you put in, and you still own me. Your girlfriends, you need to take away a little of their allowance and give us a super chat. Take away something. Gino say he don't take women on dates. But yeah, thank you, appreciate you. I have a passport, so now we'll have to get a visa. Yes, girl, you got to get a visa. OIS, the website. When you email, I'll send the information. You start processing that visa ASAP because they're backed up. The Houston office. You can go to New York or Atlanta or another state, but that's just doing a lot. Flight ticket, I would suggest you just wait for the Houston one, but they're very backed up. There's a lot of Nigerians here, so you need to go and process that visa sooner rather than later. Indian and Chinese culture sees the same way about American born. Seems the same way as in how. Gina, I'm not reading no more of your comments, so you can super chat. Well, my original home, Monroe, Louisiana. Okay, yeah. So you talk about like there are a lot of similarities. Louisiana. Are you Creole or are you just just Black Louisiana? There's a lot of people from Louisiana in Texas, in Houston per se. A large population of people from Louisiana. All right, so make sure you email us, Judy, so we can make sure you're not getting, everything is good. These Nigerian men are good. We just want to make sure. And how did y'all meet? We didn't ask that. How did y'all meet?
Online, obviously.
That's probably Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Hey, quirky teacher. I think Black Southern culture is very similar to West African culture, especially these. Yes, for sure. Yes. For sure. I'm about to go get me a man that wears boots, cowboy boots, go to South Carolina.
And I'm saying, let me end this out real quick. So we talk about this on the channel sometimes, feeling like it was kind of weird growing up, seeing like Black American men being attracted to like Nigerian women. Because even the same way, I feel like it's like reverse, right? You see a lot of like American women or non-Nigerian women going after Nigerian men. But we talked about it earlier in this live. A lot of Nigerian women prefer like Nigerian men. Like they don't really go out in the same way that men do. So I don't know. I just always thought growing up kind of like Nigerian, like American men would just want an American woman. Like they would kind of look at you and know once you're African. Like, I don't know. It was kind of an immature way of thinking. Like they wouldn't really be attracted to you. But after being in Houston, I'm like, nah, I don't even think they even know or they even realize they even care. But like Gino said, a lot of them will prefer dating other American women. I think it's more of a cultural thing and like a, having that understanding. Like one of our subscribers talked about in our videos about working in New York, and he was so upset when he would hear the way that the African men would talk about African American women and how he would never like even think of dating a Nigerian woman. Like that was never on his mind back then. But he also was older, and he also said the Nigerian women he worked with were not attractive. So I do think that's part of like the stereotype, or you know what I mean, like older generation, or that mindset. But things are different now. Things are very different. We need to stop dividing. We're different. We're not going to ignore our differences, but a lot of times we have more in common than we have what if we have more similarities and differences, but sometimes we just focus on our differences, because that's sometimes what stands out the most. But tomorrow's Nigerian Independence Day, the first of a new month, first of Q4. We just wanted to talk about this today in honor of Nigerian Independence Day. But let us know what y'all wanted us to talk about next week. We're trying to be consistent on these lives, but we gotta have topics. We don't want to just come here and just be rambling. So let us know what y'all want us to talk about next week in the comments of this video. And Judy, I have to learn his culture, and as far as mine and understand. So if you like a person, you're gonna get to understand each other because it takes time, because you already know you're different. Yes, but the question I had is why. I don't explain, because being that it's been a while since I met each other. Is it that you feel as if you just liked him, or you weren't finding men in America that you liked, or men in America that were offering you the way Pascal, Maya, Judy, go get your Nigerian for sure, it's worth it, the risk. Just take calculated risk. We said don't go to his village, don't go to his town. You're gonna stay in a nice area, and he gonna meet you there. Oh my God, Gino, my Nigerian neighbors look way different than you two. How old are your Nigerian neighbors? Are they young? You say your Nigerian neighbors, they probably grown people. I think that's really what people be trying to say low key. That's why I say when people say you don't look Nigerian, it's a backhanded compliment. Because I feel like what they're saying low key is that you don't look the way I've been conditioned to think Nigerian people look, which is not positive. So they're saying that you don't look, you got what I'm saying? They're saying that you don't look the way Gino's saying his neighbors look, which I assume is not a good thing based on, the context clues.
Okay, yes, we understand. Because on the last, I remember you joined our live before, you're talking about how Nigerian women, when you first moved here and how they were acting. And, the only way to get green card is not through marriage, you get it through. I understand that. But I still think it's dangerous, even if you've had those experiences. People still need to do stuff the right way, right? Yeah. Like no one is saying all men are bad or all men in Nigeria are swindlers. I never said that during this live, but let's be honest. You're not going to you won't let your sister walk in the fire, right? Yep. You won't want your female cousin to walk in the fire. And my issue with this long distance stuff is that like, it's very hard to get to know people when you're long distance, especially
when years without seeing each other. Come on now.
Right. So you still have to, I'm not against long distance. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I'm not the person, like some people are saying, run, red flag. I'm not like, I'm not going to go to that extreme. But I
take calculated risk. You don't just take risks in anything, business, life. You take risks. We often take risks, but you take calculated risk. The risk has to make sense. It's not any risk. Let me just take risks because I want to be risky. Nah. You know what some of your men are doing, spamming women on Instagram, trying to get to America as soon as possible. We don't want no one. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Judy's, she's family. It's her first time joining live. We have to protect her, even though we don't know her. We're still women supporting women. Same way, Pascal, you're a man. You're gonna support your Nigerian man because you want him to get out Nigeria and come meet you in America. We still gotta make sure she does her due diligence, because tomorrow these women will come and start making video. Nigerian man, this, they do this, do that, and it's like, yeah, that may be for some, but it's also you have to do your own
Like,
part.
and the same thing, Pascal, with the men that go to Nigeria and get wives and they'll be on daddy freeze. She left me freezing in the cold.
Throw me out in the cold in Chicago. What did you do? What normal woman throws a man out? Like, come on, we're not encouraging throwing them
advice
out.
is not just for women; it's also for men. With long distance, there's a way you have to do it.
No,
If you want to do it the right way, there's a
Mhm.
way to do long distance. It's not impossible. It's not. I don't think it can't work, but nah. Like you still gotta be careful. You have to be careful. You have.
I thought y'all were regular black. Growing up, they used to say JB. I thought she was JB, just black. Like it's crazy how even up to now I get that, and I just thought, okay, maybe because we were younger, you know what I mean? Maybe people weren't that exposed. But I feel like now, especially because of social media, y'all don't see Nigerian women on TV. Like you don't see them on Instagram. Like Nigerian women look very regular. Like you know what I mean? I think it's also people. Like I said, it goes back to people's perception of Africa as a whole. Like at least West Africa, particularly because they have in their mind, like even like complexion wise, like they just have an idea of like what an African looks like. And not to say that isn't there, but it's not the only thing that's there.
Quirky teacher. I totally agree. I had a guy that started out well, but then he started asking me for coin. But I've had a Nigerian guy I met during COVID, lives in the UK, and he is cool.
That's another one. We giving the number one. A girl told me this weekend. Don't give no man money.
Hold on.
Don't give no man money.
I don't care about that. What I'm wondering, and what I think I'm just confused about, is are there not men in America? Like, why is it? Is it because everyone is on social media these days and they're not getting off the couch and they're just scrolling all day? Like, why does it seem like it's so common for people to meet people far away? You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing I'm noticing. Like, are we not meeting people where we live? Are we not? I don't know.
Yeah, I've tried it. I don't like long distance, but I understand why, you know, some people do it, and it can work if you do it the right way. You can tell the difference between African American women, guys versus African American guys, women, the way they dress, carry, etc. Really? So right now, if you go to Atlanta right now and I put you in a venue and there's 200 black people, you're gonna tell me you could tell all the girls who are Nigerian versus the girls who are Black American versus the guys who are Nigerian? Maybe the guys, I feel like you kind of tell. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like for the guys, the differences may be more distinct, but for the women, I don't know. I don't know if I could say that I would really be able to tell a difference between an African American woman and a Nigerian woman, or like a Ghanaian woman, right, or a different type of country.
I'm reading your comments. I'm not going to put them all out because it's a lot and we're about to end. But before you continue helping someone, you need to meet them in person. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it just doesn't add up. Before you continue helping someone find whatever you want to do, it's your business. I'm not judging you, but I think you should really prioritize meeting this person. Yeah, I definitely think you should. Blackest Night said, when Nigerians see me, they never believe in Nigeria because they say I look Ghanaian. That's an interesting one.
I used to hang around women from Eritrea and they look totally different. Of course, we talk about that. That's East Africa. Remember we talk about the East Africa and Nigerian. The look is different. The lifestyle is different. The mentality, the language, the food. Like, yeah, we are African, like I said, in Ubuntu, but like there's a lot of differences. Like a lot of differences. Like you can't, the Nigerian men are married to Eritrean girls. They're marrying the Ethiopian. DMV is heavy. So, this goes back to our topic about Nigerian men, being highly sought out and not limiting themselves in the way that women do and having more options. Yeah, Gino, we're only reading this because you made sense, even though we're still waiting for the super chat. Just get out and meet guys and girls in your city. It's so many, and that's how I feel. But I understand, why people end up online. But I just feel like it's almost like, I don't know. I just feel like it hasn't come to that for you to be dating someone in a whole, like, it's not like someone connected you with them. You know what I mean? I can understand that even more, like someone knows someone and they hooked you up, or you visited there and you met someone and now y'all are like, communicating once you get back. But I think as culture, we just try. Yeah, they be changing location, especially the London guys. They be all coming up. My friends tell me that on Hinge, the London guys be coming up in Houston. So I could believe that because they change. They love American women. They change their location to America, which is very interesting. Like, why are you trying to meet a far woman? I don't understand.
American women are it. Duh. A Nigerian guy I met during COVID, lives in UK. So I guess he used in UK but switched his location.
Pastel. So if you're doing long distance intentional, you know how to do your due diligence. That is why she has this community. We can help her out with some information about the guy and what she is. That yes, Pascal, I agree. I'm not telling nobody not to do anything. You can work, but just don't let nobody just play you like as a fool. Like you have to do your own research. You have to. It's good you join. Maybe I don't know how you saw the video. Did it come up on your home screen? Have you been subscribed? But just do your research. Have an open mind. I don't know if you're a Christian, but listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut.
Blackest Night said, geez, here I'm pissed because I took this Keisha chick I was dating to Dubai and Paris last year. Meanwhile, you got sisters spending coin on guys. I'm broke. I need a sister to spend coins on me. Oh no, don't regret it. Nothing's wrong with you taking Keisha to Dubai and Paris. Being generous is a spirit. Okay. Don't let guys let this stuff on social media make you stop being generous, please. Please.
Let's be real. The reality is that if you are men now, trust me, men want soft life too. People don't understand the economy is hard. Men want a good life. Men, I'm telling you, you'll be shocked. A lot of women are giving men money. It will shock you. They may not come out and say it until shit hits the fan. Something happens. They start having issues. But a lot of women, especially women who are doing decent, are financially supporting men in some capacity. They are, especially Black women. They are. Trust me.
Oh, we're so picky.
Yeah, but we're so picky, right? But the difference is that you, as a man, if you have integrity, you it's not about what even the woman does or doesn't do. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your self-confidence, for your ego to know that you're not letting a woman take care of you. I don't care. Nah. Especially, the situation is also different when you're in like a developing country. People have less opportunities. So of course, that ego has to go down when you don't have money, right? When you don't have as many resources. I do not want to say what website man on, but we talk on WhatsApp. Okay, Judy, this will all be on our email. Because look at how women versus African women style their ways. That's the easy indicator. Mia, I'm gonna send you're not on Instagram. Okay, you're on TikTok. I'm gonna find you on TikTok. Mia, it's because you don't be seeing the baddies. You in Midwest or you in Ohio, right? So I feel like your perception is different because you never live like in an Atlanta or like in a Houston. And not to say that there isn't what you're saying has validity, but if you were on Instagram, I would send you 10 girls right now, Nigerian girls with lace laid under 30. It's really about your exposure and the people you're around. I get what you're trying to say. That stiff wig, hard life, whatever, like that type of, hair. But the girls, Nigerian girls, not go, especially in Nigeria, Lagos, the big cities. I will show you these girls. You'll be like, what? Makeup. I told you the biggest thing I noticed going to East Africa is how natural women are. Nigerian women are not natural. They do the wigs, the makeup, the hair, the nails. They are very big on appearance and looking good. So I get what you're trying to say, but it just depends. It really depends. Gino said, do on both. We still reading Gino's comments. Do both online, find folks in the city and get out and meet people, use hookups from folks. Yep, that's the best way, Gino. I was talking to my girlfriend about that Friday. That's my preferred way. I don't like meeting random people in real life or online. I don't care for it. I understand, we got to do what we got to do, but my preference is meeting someone through someone. Burna Boy may be an African popular, I guess, and Wizkid and Davido. Blackest Night, you're a good man. He's a good man, Savannah.
I traveled to meet a Nigerian guy I met on IG. He wasn't who he appeared to be on social media at all. I even went to his Yoruba village.
Yep, this my cousin telling you. So we're not trying to discourage you. I can't remember it. I'm forgetting your name. Judy. We're not trying to discourage you. We're just trying to say we know our men. Trust me. So when we're saying certain things, you just have to be careful. Like
also, Judy, I think she's a little young. That's the only reason why I'm a little concerned for her, because I do think naturally, when you're young, you just have that natural positive.
You're very trusting. Yeah, you're very trusting. You're a little naive.
People prey on that. That's just the truth. They prey. Like men literally. I was talking to my friend about it one time. She's like, yeah, why do you think guys go for that girl versus that girl? Like, they can read you. They'll know, okay, that girl,
men size you up. We think women size, no, men size women up. Gino, come and confirm. A man could look at a woman and know this woman will take my BS. This woman will allow this and that. Oh, this woman don't play. Oh, this woman's going to make me spend money. This woman is going to be more understanding. Not everyone is the same, but you definitely need to vet in person. Yep, do the in-person vetting. You can meet, however, but you got to do an in-person vetting because there's certain things people can't hide from you in real life. They can try and hide virtually. You're calling, you're doing FaceTime, but you could be with someone for like 2 days and it could be equivalent to talking on the phone every day for like 6 months. Like the things you'll be able to pick up on, the things you're able to realize, their energy, certain quirks, certain habits, certain things you just pick up on. And there's nothing like, despite the virtual, all this, there's nothing like in-person communication and meeting someone in real life.
Pretty sure not everyone is the same, but you definitely need to vet in person.
Yeah. You know, from the listen of all this, I might have to wait till I meet a Nigerian man over here in America, because this sounds so difficult because I do like Nigerian men. So you like Nigerian men, Judy. What you like about Nigerian men? Man, I heard about them chicks that they doing the BBLs, everything. Like Nigerian girls don't play when it comes to looks. I'm telling you, proper, especially in Nigeria. America changes things. The economy, life is hard. People trying to work and save money. The men don't spend like that. But in Nigeria, Nigerian women, for the most part, becoming correct.
The same way you talk to someone in America, you need to vet him in person as well, see what's inside his house.
Yep. Mia and Guzzy, just like the way African American men dress versus African men, the shoe game say a lot. Yeah, but I told you, I think for men it's different. I do believe like for men, you could kind of see the difference more. Like I feel like there's more ways to differentiate men. And I think it's also because women wear makeup as well. And we have a lot of things to kind of make us kind of look the same. So I feel as if I go beat my face and an American girl goes beats her face, we're wearing the same Fashion Nova dress. We're wearing the same YSL clutch. We're wearing the same heels. Like, what's really going to make you say right now?
Though it could be the
but I said we wear makeup. So I feel like features, they could still be there, yes. But I feel like if for women, it's like, it's easier to hide certain things versus men. It's like certain things stand out more. Guzzy, how you know about the weight difference? I never knew an African to do what? HD, frontal, 5x5, 3. What type of closure? Transparent?
Are you meeting first gen Africans? Because it sounds like
your women are wearing the old synthetic wigs, our mother's age mates. No, if you meeting the young girls, Nigerian girls with hair, oh, it's a huge business. Hair, wigs, makeup. Oh my gosh, so big. Listen, I don't know what these folks talking about being able to tell the folks in Nigerian. Growing up, my classmates, church members, neighbors said we all look the same. Yeah, I'm not saying that it quirky teach. I'm not trying to dismiss it because I do see where they're saying like there are certain differences maybe in dressing. For example, like first day of school, I've noticed like my American friends, they usually always had their hair blown out, like straightened. You know, that was like a first day of school, taking like your first day of pictures versus like us being Africans, like most people have like braids. So it's not to say there aren't differences. There are, but it's like, it's not always that distinct. It's not always that obvious. You know what I mean? No, I'm saying the way they style, there's a difference. Okay, you're saying that it's obvious they're wearing a wig, but yeah, I'm gonna show you in person. I'm gonna show you the Nigerian girls wearing the wigs. But thank y'all so much. It's an hour 37 minutes. Oh my God, we've been here for a minute, but thank you so much for joining. Please like this video, share, super chat. You know, we still accepting super chats, still accepting the love. Let me read Judy's real quick. Well, it's not like I was sitting here strolling. I met him on the website, wasn't looking to meet anybody. It's just that we met on the website. We've been talking for day. If it's meant, it's me, it's here if I. Okay. Judy, just send me that email, edgemaniger@gmail.com in the description box. We will see you all next week. Have a great day. Praying you have a great Q4, and we will talk later. Bye.